Great Blue Heron. The great blue herons live in both freshwater and saltwater habitats. They also forage in grasslands and agricultural fields. They stalk frogs and animals. Most breeding colonies are located within 2 miles to 4 miles of feeding areas, often isolated swamps and islands, near lakes and ponds and bordered by forest. Great blue herons eat nearly anything within striking distance, including fish, amphibians, reptiles, small mammals, insects, and other birds. They grab small prey with their strong mandibles and use their dagger-like bills to impale larger fish, often shaking them to break or relax the sharp spines before gulping them down. Great blue herons nest mainly in trees, but they'll also nest on the ground, on bushes and mangroves, and on structures such as duck blinds, channel markers, or artificial nest platforms. Males arrive at the colony and settle on the nest sites. From there, they court passing females. Colonies can consist of 500 or more individual nests, with multiple nests per tree built 100 or more feet off the ground. For the nest, the male great blue heron collects much of the nested material, gathering sticks from the ground, nearby shrubs and trees, and from guarded and abandoned nests, and presenting them to the female, and then she weaves a platform and a saucer-shaped nest cup, lining it with pine needles, moss, reeds, dry grass, mangrove leaves, or small twigs. Nest building can take from 3 days up to 2 weeks. The finished nest can range from a simple platform measuring 20 inches across to a more elaborate structures used over multiple years, reaching 4 feet across and nearly 3.5 feet deep. The ground nesting herons use vegetation such as saltgrass to form their nest. The great blue herons forage usually alone across much of the U.S. This largest part of North American herons wade slowly or stand stock still, peering into the water for prey. In flight, the great blue heron holds its neck into an S shape and trails its long legs behind, dangling them as to prepare to land or when courting. Breeding birds nest in colonies. They can number up to several hundred pairs, where they build their stick nest in the trees or bushes or on the ground. And if you visit a colony, look for elaborate courtship and pair bonding displays that include ritualized greetings, stick transfers, nest release ceremony in which the birds erect their plumes and clappers their bill tips. Pairs are mostly monogamous during the season, but they choose a new partner each year. Away from the colony, the great blues defend feeding territories from other herons with dramatic displays in which the bird approach intruders with their head thrown back and their wings outstretched and their bill pointing skyward. Gulls and even humans may be targets of this defensive maneuver. As far as conservation goes, the great blue numbers are stable and increased in the United States between 1966 and 2014. According to the North American Breeding Bird Survey, however, notable population declines have occurred in some areas, particularly with the great white heron in southern Florida, where elevated mercury levels in local waterways may have been a factor. The North American Waterbird Conservation Plan estimates a continental population of 83,000 breeding birds. The rate at the species of an 8 out of 20 on Continental Concern score. Great blue herons can be found throughout the year all over North America. though most populations in Canada are present only during the breeding season, and most populations in Mexico are only present during the winter because the great blue heron depends on wetlands for feeding and on relatively undisturbed sites for breeding. They are vulnerable to habitat loss and to impacts such as traffic, logging, motorboats, and other human intrusion that can disrupt nesting colonies. Other threats include chemical pollutants uh, and reduced water quality, although containment, contaminant levels may have declined in many years. Pollutants such as PCBs, DDT, and other newer types of industrial chemicals continue to affect the heron's habitat and can contribute to factors such as reduced nest site attendance. Despite their impressive size, the great blue herons weigh only about 5 to 6 pounds, thanks in part to their hollow bones that feature all birds share. Great blue herons in northeastern U.S. and southern Canada have benefited from the recovery of the beaver populations, which have created a patchwork of swamps and meadows well suited to foraging and nesting. Great blue herons have specialized feathers on their chests that continually grow and fray. The herons comb this powder down, as it's called, with a fringed claw on their middle toes, using the down like a washcloth to remove fish slime and other oils from their feathers as they preen. And applying this powder to their underparts protects their feathers against the slime and oils of the swamp. Great blue herons can hunt day or night thanks to a high percentage of rod-type photoreceptors in their eyes that improve their night vision. Great blue herons have been known to congregate at fish hatcheries, creating potential problems for the fish farmers. A study found that herons ate mostly diseased fish that would have died shortly anyway. Sick fish spend more time up near the surface of the water, where they're more vulnerable to the herons. Interesting fact, the oldest recorded blue heron was found in Texas when it was at least 24 years and 6 months old. And thanks to their specially shaped neck vertebrae, great blue herons can quickly strike at prey from a distance. Now, I hope you enjoyed the information. Like my videos, subscribe, share them with your friends. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.